fun building these two things that stand in so stark contrast to each other. The human detail of the resort in the face of the just brutal reality of building the Exodus industry on top of it.
When we were thinking about this map, I kind of like tried to put myself into the boots of a raider that would go there.
Oh, هذا new map. It's called Riven Tides or Riven Tides. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
I put my gear, I'm gonna go to that place.
I think it's Riven Tides.
I had was like, this place appealed to me as point of interest that was revealed after the water was like receded, or the sand kind of shifted and the hotel kind of like appeared back. Maybe it was hidden before. Well, that's where we're going there now, because it was not on the surface.
I think people will get to experience a slightly new nature experience from what we've shown before. We've really tried to push a sense of Mediterranean Italy in a way that we haven't before, and we've really had fun with like bringing it closer to the ocean.
We always strive for contrast. Like in all of our maps, if you have a divide between these brutalistic structures and these like Italy as we know today, there's always like this shifting contrast between them. Sometimes we go in like 80% brutalistic and like these heavy shapes, more retro sci-fi, and then we have like 20% of Italy as we know, or like modern day stuff. But in this one we almost went like 50-50, I would say. The hotel, it has its like place, it's really isolated, and the harbor is like, you don't see like an old Italian structure inside there. We don't mix match these two themes into each other.
And we also wanted that to be a part of the name, right? Riven implies that something has been torn apart. The idyllic Italian vista of the beach has been torn apart, and old Italy has been pushed aside by the need to build Exodus structures and the impact of...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is cool enough, but why is it so dramatic though? يعني ماني فاهم ليش كذا مرة مسوين. It's like they made a whole video clip عشان يقول لك إن في map جاي, عارف. They made it so dramatic.
How that would form a pretty interesting story for players.
I was playing it last week, right?
It's like you're trying to reform a dead game. I'm not saying our creators dead, but
opportunities, but also
saying it's like feels like you're trying to reform a dead game by saying I got a new map.
Get over open spaces, but also getting up top. Right? There's a lot of verticality in it.
One of the fun things with the turbine is also the fact that you kind of want to be out in open spaces because the way that it attacks you is very, very oppressive. If you end up in a tight
That's cool.
spot,
I like
if you're
this.
behind cover or in like a tight alley, you will very likely die.
That is fucking cool, you know what? I kind of like this.
Concept art folders.
Like one of those really old concepts from way, like many, many years ago, I think. It was originally one of the concepts for before our resets.
They should feel like they are not.
That's so cool, and they don't just add maps. They're like
the world we have.
They also
like
add new AI. Someone
things like working together with the textures and colors. There's a harmony, but on top of that, we want to stick out as a danger, as like almost like a horror factor in this universe.
I don't think that's
goes into
the name I'm trying to use.
Making sure their character feels cold against this warm world. They kind of like come on top of it as a kind of a threatening object, sort of. Both visually and how they sound and how they behave, they're like really precise compared to the world, which is like kind of swaying and kind of like soft.
The imagination of the audio people is quite vivid, so we try to imagine what's inside of those things, and then we start looking for building blocks. This is the emergency takeoff, a container latch, shotgun, some kind of polishing machine, an air compressor, and then we have all sorts of helicopters, of course, and then it becomes this. We're just looking at the thing and trying to
I think that's the new machine.
And what it, like, if this existed, what would it sound like? They are mechanical things. They are not like something that doesn't exist.
My one tip is keep your eyes open of your surroundings at all times.
encourage you to collaborate. I think that's a good thing, right? Even if it's not only dealing damage, right, but looking out for your fellow raider. Heal your friends.
I think the Ark experience.
That was so awkward.
existing
Why was that so
players
awkward?
Experienced a more different type of Ark than on any other map previously, because we now have more Ark enemies to play with as designers than we've had before, and the various areas of the map cater very much to the experience of different arcs. So what route you take is really going to determine what experience you have with enemies. You get a very different challenge for every different choice you make in the level.
Well, those are the new skins too. I mean, honestly, dude, our creators, you guys should give me a anvil blueprint, cause like, والله اللعبة مرة صعبة when you lose an anvil. I've heard that like anvil blueprints are and not like so hard to get. Honestly, I did not like get into the game so deep, and والله ألاقي anvil easily. But that's cool. I think يعني, this is a moment I could go back to our creators. It would be cool. It would be cool. How long since I last played our creators? That was like months ago. God damn يا رجل. Dude. قبل 4 شهور تقريبا. Oh, they released the update? Featured? April 28th. I'll probably play the map. I'm not gonna do... أتوقع إن الماب نزل, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it today. I'll leave it probably for another time. But yeah, I might do it. I have to install the game.